What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got some more kind of NBA news to be talking about with you guys right now. Some real weird news, to be kind of honest with you guys, as it is currently being reported right now that the title contending teams have already been inquiring about Jerami Grant's services over the last year, and the Boston Celtics have reportedly been the most interested, reportedly offering up some late first round picks. And this is all being reported by Jed Ward III. Now, in my opinion, Jerami Grant would not be a good player to bring in if you're a Boston Celtics fan. They have too many shot creators on this team, and I don't know how I can say this really the nicest way possible. There are too many shot creators on this team. I don't understand what the thinking is here by the Boston Celtics. It legitimately seems to me like if they were to make this move, I'm not too sure what their direction would be. And if you don't really know what I'm talking about, is they really went out in the, off season and kind of tried their absolute hardest to get rid of Kemba Walker, because he was taking shots away from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. It just didn't seem like it was going to work long term. They ended up packaging like a pick 17 or something like that and Kemba Walker just to get back Al Horford's bad contract. Like, it is really crazy. Like, look, I don't mind the move to this day because I still think that getting rid of Kemba was smart. But then they went out and brought in Dennis Schroeder in free agency, which some Boston Celtics fans are ecstatic about, while some others are like, well, look, we've got him for cheap. We only brought him on for like $7 million, but he's just going to be another dude that's going to take away shots from Jason Tatum and, Jaylen Brown, kind of contradicting, trading away Kemba Walker in the first place. And that's what I'm saying right now, is this team, in my opinion, needs a shooter or two. I thought Evan Fournier was actually a really good get because he could be a really nice catch and shoot player for this team. Instead, they've kind of gone out and done quite the opposite. Look, bringing in Al Horford smart, he's a really nice catch and shoot player. I love that. Like, I know his contract's really bad, but come on now, he's a very good catch and shoot player, and I'm going to love to see him play for this team. But other than that, they brought in Josh Richardson, who's making $12 million next season, 11.6 to be exact, who is not a shooter. They brought in Dennis Schroeder, who is about like he's not a catch and shoot player, he's more like a shot creator, of course, who had a bad season. They re-signed Marcus Smart, which is good. You need those type of players, but again, he's not a shooter. They really just need to bring in a shooter here and there, and I really kind of feel bad for Aaron Nesmith because, look, obviously it's going to be great for him next season because he's going to be getting so many minutes. Like, I could see him playing around 20 to 25 minutes, per game next season, but he's going to be like their genuine only catch and shoot player. I definitely don't think they expected for Evan Fournier to leave. I definitely think that was not a part of their plan. But he did, and they needed to respond. And it's not like there aren't catch and shoot dudes out there. Like, look at Luke Kennard, who's like not getting any minutes right now on, the Los Angeles Clippers. He's on about $13 million or so a season. He would have been a better get than Josh Richardson. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Well, if we look at Jerami Grant, if you're going to offer up a bunch of first round picks, it just doesn't make any sense because you're just bringing in another shot creator. Like, legitimately, let's just say for some reason they decide to start Dennis Schroeder. Now, I'm pretty sure they won't start Dennis Schroeder. His best spot is off the bench. But let's just say for some reason they do, and they trade for Jerami Grant. That will mean this team has 4 legitimate shot creators in their team, and Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Dennis Schroeder, Jerami Grant, and you just got one catch and shoot dude, and Al Horford who's your center. It's not going to work. It didn't work last season when it was just Kemba Walker, Tatum, and, Brown. And then pretty much just swapping out Walker now for Schroeder, who is probably a worse catch and shoot dude than Kemba. And Jerami Grant, who, look, can be a really nice catch and shoot dude, but Jerami Grant turned into a shot creator on the Detroit Pistons. If you're wanting, Jerami Grant to go back to being like a shooter like he was in his Denver days, where he just guarded the 4 and the 3 and was just shooting the whole time, then that's okay. But you're probably not going to want to pay a dude $20 million a season who hasn't done that in a while and is not regarded to be a genuine three-point shooter, unlike players like Evan Fournier, etc. It doesn't make any sense to me for the Boston Celtics to go out and make this trade happen. In my opinion, I don't think they need to be going out and getting a bunch of fancy players at all. I think they need to be just go out and get a, maybe a power forward, but genuinely just a point guard. Or unless you decide that Peyton Pritchard's your dude and you run him a point, then that could be an idea. But hey, if I was them, I'd be trying to get a dude like Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard is available, and he would be really nice. But I would also be trying to go out and get a genuine point guard here and there. Who they go out and get, I'm not exactly too sure. There's not exactly too many, legitimate point guard playmakers, out there. Lonzo Ball would have been, oh my, perfect for this team. A really nice playmaker that can play good defense, that can, now shift to playing off-ball. The dude can legitimately play off-ball, whether that's being an off-ball defender or legitimately being an off-ball catch-and-shoot player. I can't believe I'm saying this about Lonzo Ball, but he somehow actually improved his catch-and-shoot last season and did really well with that. That's probably why he got such a big contract, but yeah, they need a point guard, in my opinion, that's not a shot creator, so a playmaker dude that maybe has a good three-point ball, and they need a three-point shooter. So, in my opinion, as I said, Luke Kennard, he'd be ideal. I think he'd be a better option. And then, just a point guard out there. I really don't know who will be available. I guess it will just be, I think it will be, it will come up to, the trade period. And I'm sure some random point guard will be available. Of course, the obvious one is Damian Lillard. Come on now. We know how perfect he would be for Boston. Because Damian Lillard doesn't need to be a shot creator. He could average 30 points per game if he wanted to as just a catch-and-shoot dude. While he can also be a great playmaker. Look, they could try and make contracts match up. I think you could trade, I don't know. You're going to have to trade Marcus Smart probably, and I believe he's making $18 million or so eventually, but I feel like Celtics fans won't care that much if they're getting Dame. You'd probably have to trade, Dennis Schroeder. No, you'd probably trade Josh Richardson, who will be on $12 million, and, of course, Marcus Smart, who will be on, 18 or so million. That will be about 30 million. Then you'd probably just throw in a dude like Chris Dunn, who's on 5 million. That makes it the 35 million. Then a bunch of first round picks, and that probably gets the deal done. You just relatively match up salaries too. Or even, I believe, is Juan Hernan Gomez, I think he's getting traded to the Celtics right now. He's on a $7 million deal as well. So it's kind of well, if Chris Dunn therefore goes to the Grizzlies, and then, I guess Hernan Gomez, and you kind of swap that out. I guess Hernan Gomez make an extra $2 million. Probably works more in their favor, to be honest, because, the matchup contracts for a Damian Lillard type dude. But again, a Damian Lillard type player would be so much better than Jerami Grant. Look, Dame can be a shot creator. Yeah, that's obvious. That's because he's had to be a shot creator. But if he could just playmate to Jason Tatum and Brown and do what he wants them to do. He hasn't played with an all-star, a genuine all-star since 2015 or something, I believe, and it was LaMarcus Aldridge. Imagine what this dude could do with 2 all-stars. He'd probably average 10 assists per game or something, plus that. And then, of course, he could legitimately just become a catch-and-shoot player for them and shot create when he needs to, but be a main priority catch-and-shoot player and average 20 to 25 points per game every night and have that 40-point appearance every now and then. Oh my goodness, Damian Lillard would just be so perfect for them. But yeah, Jerami Grant doesn't make sense. Jerami Grant's turned into a shot creator. If you want him to be a catch-and-shoot player anymore, there's no point giving up so many first-round picks. And, for a dude that hasn't been a, genuine catch-and-shoot player in a while, would have to legitimately change his role up so much. I just don't see it working. But, of course, if you haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for the latest NBA content and NBA news. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel and my IRL/vlog channels. Don't forget to check out my new channel as well, which I decided to call the CHB Podcast, which is my official podcast channel, which I will be uploading multiple clips from those podcasts that I make, an audio version as well. All of that stuff will all be going on that channel, so go and subscribe to that if you haven't already. And yeah, comment your thoughts and opinions on this down below. Would Jerami Grant be good for the Boston Celtics? Do you think so? Do you not? Again, I definitely would really like to know. But as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.